And one. Good morning. So we're trying this again. Today with me is my lovely daughter, Emily Grace. It's her birthday yesterday, 18 years old, right? 18 years old. Can you believe that? I mean, swear to God. 18 years ago yesterday. She was number two, dash two, right? And anybody who's had kids, I don't know if you're, maybe I was just goofy, but when our oldest was born, I was a nervous wreck, literally. Right? We left the hospital, and from the door to the driveway where the valet was going to bring the car around, um, I just wanted to punch people in the face. I mean, we were at McGee Women's Hospital, part of the UPM. If I had to do it again, I'd go to West Penn. West Penn Hospital, Allegheny Health Network. You do not find a better maternity hospital anywhere in the world. But I digress. At the time, I didn't know that. So, Brother Mike, how are you feeling today, my friend? I feel surprisingly not crushed, right? There's no blood in my urine this morning. I felt all right. Felt all right. Murph, right? And it said, Murph. But anyway, Emily was born 18 years ago yesterday. I felt totally different, because 2 years prior with Alexandra, we're walking out and there were all these little pharmaceutical sales reps, like little ants at a picnic, and they're walking around with their stupid little, what do you call it? Like the rolling like sample cases, and they're just like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah." I'm like, you're in my way. You're going to cause a problem with the wheelchair and my baby. I'm going to punch you until you die. But I was a different man then. Yeah, a little bit more volatile. Old. That's an understatement, brother.
Minor
Yeah.
major changes.
What?
Minor major changes.
Yes, I've made some minor major changes in my. So anyway, this is kind of fun too. Doing a little tandem. Now this I don't understand, so I need a production assistant. Not Emily. She's destined for far greater things. But so the last time I tried this, I thought, this would be cool. We'll go simultaneously on my phone to YouTube Live, and then on the laptop here for Facebook Live, because there's like a whole process for uploading a Facebook video to a YouTube channel, and it's well beyond my abilities. So we did that. Did it the last time. Does that look like it's an odd angle like that? YouTube appears to be your show. That's cool. Yeah, YouTube will be your show, and I'll be your guest, right? And then never mind. But so I went to do it again today. Same thing. Boom. It's one button. So I hit it, and it says, what did it say? You do not have the capability to live. Yeah, you do not have the eligibility to live broadcast. I'm like, what? Christopher, it's my godson, everyone. So show some respect. How are you, buddy? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so I don't have the eligibility to go live on YouTube, but I can record. So whatever. And so as I read the requirements, evidently in order to go live on YouTube, after I already went live before, my channel has to have like 1,000 subscribers, are they called? Or followers?
Yeah,
Subscribers. So I need 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. But the one thing I won't do, right? Those of you who know me, Tracy Moon. Tracy Moon. Brother, yesterday, guess what? Did a Murph challenge benchmark workout, and I capped it off, my friend, with a Mickey's that I had hidden in the refrigerator from like last year, right? Remember my first and favorite Mickey story. I'm not naming names, because we could have both gotten kicked out. But a couple weeks before graduation, I get a call to the regimental candidate officer's office. Hey, somebody's looking for you out back. Mickey's. I love Mickey's. Yesterday I found out for the first time ever, I didn't realize it was a malt liquor. All right, though, man. Loved it. It's not for everybody. It's for a refined few, my brother. So, I draw your attention to the gentleman on the front of my coffee mug. All right? That's Socrates. Right? Socrates was a famous Greek philosopher.
Socrates.
Yeah, as my smart daughter pointed out, it's Socrates. I went to Central Catholic, man. I went to prep school. You know what I mean? I just like to It's like to pretend a little bit. But yeah, Socrates. But here's the irony of it. Socrates is a brilliant, brilliant ancient Greek philosopher, right? And this is pretty classy, okay? I don't know if you can see this, if it's going to turn out rightwards, backwards. Let him that would move the world first move himself. Think about that for a minute. Let's ponder that for a minute, right? And I'm all about T-shirts and cool stuff and catchy slogans and get after it, right? Because it's simple. It's life is what you make of it. You don't get after it, shame on you. You got the same opportunities as everybody else. It's just how it is, right? But I love this quote. I love it. Let him that would move the world first move himself. Because how often do you run into people with these kind of like goals that border on delusions? You know what I mean? Think about it. Think about it, right? When I was a young naval officer and we would go to career days and things like that, you always want to point a young person in the right direction. I can't tell you how many times I came across people who don't even have command of the English language, right? Yeah, I'm gonna fly jets. Top Gun had come out shortly before that, right? And everybody that crossed our path was going to fly F-14s. Everybody, grades notwithstanding, right? And then when you'd watch the interaction between some of these kids and their teachers, I'm like, oh my God, dude, you don't just show up on day one. 1,000 subscribers for my YouTube channel, YouTube. That's what I need. You lay it out there as a challenge. You know what I mean? Fill that channel with strippers and all sorts of others that to get my 1,000. Louie, if you're out there, hit up some old friends of ours. I need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Boom. Mike, hit up the trade unions. Nick, everybody at HH, right? We get 1,000 subscribers. It's 9:17 a.m. and it's a Sunday. I think we could still do it by close of business today. It's easy, And don't get me wrong. I got nothing against strippers, right? As long as it doesn't involve my children, unless my son, decides he wants to open a club or something, then in which case, Mike will build it and Tracy will manage it and, it'll be good, man. Nick, you'll have your own table.
Where are you during all this?
I'm staying home with, you kidding me? Jesus, God, y'all know my wife, right? Listen, man, I've cheated death more times than a lot of people I know. Never, ever against my wife, because I think that one had to come up a little short. It's okay, you can laugh. You know. Release the Kraken. Sweet as can be, beautiful, but Xena Warrior Princess has nothing on my wife. Might have mentioned this before. Tel Aviv Latte. Might be called something else. Don't care. I renamed it. Little Black Rifle Coffee, which I have heard, speaking of coffee, I heard it through the grapevine that my favorite coffee shop is going to open tomorrow under COVID parameters and so forth. But Moonbeam Cafe going to be opening up here in the next 24 to 48 hours. Can we get confirmation on that? Anyone still on the line? On the line. If you go, yeah, that's what I said. You put it out on the line.
Online.
And then it's out there on the line.
Right,
and then we could make this app. We could make this app where, let's say I capture an image and then I put it on the line.
Shareagram.
And then it's right out there.
Right.
And we'll call it like Instantgram or Share a Face, And you know what? You laugh, but I have so much good content left on MySpace page. I just can't. I could never log in. And I don't know what happened. My computer must be broken. But yeah, so let him that would move the world first move himself. Here's the thing. That basically means you have ambitions and dreams, go after them. But in order to go after them, don't sleep until 11 o'clock. Don't live your life like an ass bag and still think that you're going to move the world when you can't even get your ass out of bed and, string two sentences together.
I think that should be a t-shirt. Don't live your life as an ass bag.
Nice. And we'll put like a catchy little logo in the bottom corner, Don't make fun of the Jambo. You don't even know the power of it. Anyway, that's, you know what? Should I tell my Prince Harry story?
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. So 2000 something. We were rolling on a mission through, how were we? Kabul. Yeah, yes, we were. We were in Kabul, in Astrakistan. And so anyway, we had this procedure, right? I won't go into all the details, but we had a procedure where we would be in low profile vehicles, kind of blending with the, indigenous traffic flow and dressed appropriately, to blend in. But we had a certain signaling protocol that we would use from our vehicles if we came up on a military convoy, right? We'd approach them from the rear. And those of you who've been, will know the trail vehicle of every convoy has a sign in local language and English and sign language, basically telling you, like, what was it, stay back 100 yards or something, 100 meters, or you will be fired upon. And if that's a legitimate thing, because, VBID threat was constant, and, suicide bombers would drive right up on a convoy. It's a high value target for them, and they would just, detonate themselves. So we're rolling up, and I've got it's a British convoy in front of us, right? But we're going to an international camp, just outside of the green zone there. So one thing and another, we approached slowly, we approached discreetly. So the kid turns, doesn't turn his weapon on us. He's got it. He's a tail gunner. So he motions, stop, stay back. So I go through the signaling protocol because I'm in the right front seat. I'm not driving. I'm in the right front seat of the lead vehicle. So I go through the signaling protocol, and this is clear cut, and this is all hands, all Allied forces understand this. And he's not impressed. Not only is he not, and we're not trying to speed up on him or overtake him. We're just trying to let him know, we're not a threat. So he does this again, more forceful, right? So I go through my protocol again, a little more forceful, and I'm like pointing, like, look. Next thing you know, he racks his weapon, 50 caliber, right? Racks it, brings it to bear, and the first thought that crosses my mind is, sweet baby Jesus. Even the armored vehicles aren't going to withstand that. So the only thing I can think, like, reflexively before I even think to do it, and my wife gets upset with me, when I do this, like, you yell, you raise your voice inside an enclosed vehicle at another motorist. So what happens is, your family hears you yell, their ears get assaulted, but this schmuck, who just, cut you off or whatever, doesn't know. Similar to that, right? So I see him rack and come to bear. So the first thing I do is I give him the finger. And I'm kind of yelling at him, explaining to him, like, pay attention, you such and such and such, right? And I might have gone into the whole history of,
Words.
but anyway, so I flip him off, right? Next thing you know, I see him go on his microphone, right? His hand mic, boom. And then all of a sudden, he kind of like raises and turns his weapon, and he gives me a thumbs up. And I'm like, check. So I put everything back to normal and all that. And, it turns out we are going to the same place after all. So we pull in, and they go to clearing barrels. We roll up, we get checked in, we roll past. Once we get to our staging area, we let our package go to his meeting. And sure enough, here come these Brits as they park their equipment, park their vehicles, secure their weapons and all that. So I see the kid who was the tail gunner, and I was like, hey, man, thanks. Thanks for not lighting us up. And he starts laughing, and he goes, mate, I said to my sergeant, he's like, the only person that would flip us off has to be an American. So, think about that. In international environments, the finger can save lives, right? So then I asked them, and this was right, I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a point where Prince Harry actually deployed to Afghanistan, right, with his unit. And it became a little bit controversial because I respect that 100%. You know what I mean? Here's a guy that's, doing his duty. But one of the things that was determined after the fact was, knowing that he was in country, the Taliban had such an increased operational tempo on all British units because they didn't know where he was, but they knew he was there. And as a result, really, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to focus all attention on the Brits in the hopes of getting Harry by accident or, indirect fire or what have you. So that's what ended up happening. And they, subsequently kind of like, locked him down and ended up sending him home. But almost as a joke, after I broke the ice with this kid that almost killed us, I said, hey, man, now that we're friends, I said, you could tell me. where's Harry? And real matter of fact, he goes, and I'm thinking he's going to say like, oh, he's right, he's right over here. And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, he's like, he was actually in our unit. And he goes, but the funny part is they had another kid, a corporal, who looked very much like him. I was like, oh my God. I thought that was the funniest part of the story. I'm like, that poor bastard, he's not getting to go home.
Of course, the best way to tell that story if you're his daughters is, let me tell you about the time my dad almost got shot by Prince Harry.
Yeah, my daughters abbreviate things terribly, right? So that story translates into, yeah. My dad dated Meghan Markle and Prince Harry almost shot him.
Don't think this
That's
ever
her,
come out
that's
like
her
that.
name, right? Meghan
Yeah,
Markle. Was she some kind of like personality or something?
She was an American actress.
Anything I would have seen? Was she in any of the was she in any of the Rocky movies? Was she in like First Blood? Any of the Rambo movies?
No.
And she's an actress?
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway, like community theater? High School Musical.
So ignorant.
Where'd she go? She didn't go to Riverview, did she? Because I don't think she would have made our High School
I'm
Musical.
wrong. She's much more than an actress.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's much more than an actress.
She is.
She's an American. Shut up!
She's an
Shut up!
activist.
Meghan Markle is an American. She's not even American, is she? Isn't she Canadian?
I thought for sure she was.
I'm not. I'm just making stuff up now because
She works at the
you know
UN.
why I'm making stuff up now? It's irresponsible journalism, and that is the surest way to spike to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Don't you think?
You want to get 1,000 subscribers? You sell the story. Let me tell you about the time Prince Harry almost shot me.
Right, and then we don't have to mention Major Markle. What's her name?
Stop.
Here's a funny one. I digress. You know, she's an actress. That's good, I guess. She's like really an actress. Like she did some shows and like she did like, but nothing to do with Rocky or Rambo.
Correct. And then
Was she in Miracle?
She worked in the
With
UN.
Kurt Russell?
I'm pretty sure.
In the UN? You know, get me started on the UN. Let me tell you one good UN story. The only thing good that the UN ever did, right? We invited ourselves to use one of their compounds to take shelter in a hot zone when we came under fire. That's it. That's all. Otherwise, never really did anything to help
You
us
know
out.
what the UN did? They gave me Model UN, hence most of my scholarships. Haha.
Emily's like, I'm so smart.
Global scholar.
I'm
Highly
so
distinguished.
smart. She is. She's a highly distinguished global scholar, which I respect it and appreciate it, but I don't really understand it. She's well above my pay grade already. But I think this is the thing. With a mind like my daughter has, okay, I'm saying, go to school, do your thing, major in some type of international studies, so then you can be the person who puts together the target packages for guys like us. Right? Whack 'em. Like whack-a-mole. Anyway, what else should we talk about? Oh, I have a friend. One friend.
You do? You have one friend?
I have a friend named Nathan Miner, right? Actually, I changed this morning. I changed my Facebook. What's it called? Not your profile picture, but the picture in the background. Do you know what that's called?
Cover picture?
Is it a cover picture?
I don't know.
I changed that this morning to to honor my teammates from my mission in Tel Aviv, and Nathan is actually in that photo. So any friends of mine, he's the big dude, front row, kneeling in like an orangish shirt, right? And last name is Miner, and he was an Army Ranger and a SF dude, right? He's a good guy. And I always thought, in my mind, it would be cool if he had stayed active duty long enough. See where I'm going with this?
Major Miner.
To achieve the rank of major. I thought it would be so cool to listen to people call him Major Miner.
Major Miner changes.
Right? Major Miner, there have been changes to the mission profile. And knowing Nathan, he'd be like, God, son of a... Tracy Moon, if you're still on here, this man may have challenged you. Because up till I met him, up to the point I met Nathan, you, Tracy, held the record for the longest unbroken string of profanity in a single sentence that I had ever heard. Ever. And I was like, whoa, this guy, right? And then I met Nathan, and I'm like, There's a challenger for the title, but good guys, man, good guys. And fortunately, I see a trend right in my timeline. Stop showing off. Honest to God.
I got mom's jeans.
Yeah. Not that you know what, look, man, I'm just like, I'm not that there's anything wrong with it, but, you know, I'm not losing my hair. It's just retreating. You know what I mean? It's just, it keeps seeking fallback positions. And it used to be a forehead, right? Now it's like, what's happening up here? Anyway, I digress. I digress quite a bit. I go on tangents. I digress.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a true story. You're the first guest I've ever had on this show.
That's true.
It's crazy. How do you like it? You should have your own show. No, stay under the radar. Stay low profile. I can't not laugh. Emily and I, we're silly. We giggle at all kinds of inappropriate stuff. So I started to talk about the Tel Aviv latte. Then I got sidetracked saying that Moonbeam Cafe is reopening.
You get sidetracked?
I get sidetracked all the time.
Never.
But the secret to the Tel Aviv, as I call it, latte, is a good, robust, dark roast. Yeah. Scandalous little hint of honey. And a dollop of half and half. Or heavy cream, unless those of you are lactose intolerant, in which case I haven't thought this through.
Lactaid.
Lactaid?
Yeah, it's like milk without.
Is it?
Yeah.
But is it like a full, like, heavy milk?
I'm pretty sure.
Because one thing you don't want to do, I mean, if you do it, you know, I'm not criticizing. I've done it, and the sight of it makes me want to skeeve. It's like skim milk. Skim milk is not milk. That's why it never goes bad. 100 years later, you know, your skim milk.
Skim milk goes bad.
Maybe I don't drink it, so I don't care. So I don't know if it's bad or not.
Do.
I don't know if it's bad or not. But anyway, it's like gray. It turns coffee gray, and coffee should not be gray. You know, that's good stuff.
Not the hard way.
Good stuff. Ain't B. Anybody know that reference? Not you, because you've heard me say it before.
Yeah, I just don't know where you got it from. I know you got
Tell
it
you
from
what.
somewhere.
Any of our viewers know the
whole
reference
one
I
of
just
you?
made. Excuse me. Where do you see one viewer? How do you know?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I think we got a few people in there. I don't know. We got nobody on YouTube. Do you know why? Because YouTube says we're
Stop.
not up to their eligibility
Okay, well now you're not going to
standards.
get 1,000 subscribers because you keep on trash talking YouTube.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. But anyway, if you know that reference, if you're local, and you name that reference that I just made, ain't B. If you're local, you name the reference, I get you a free coffee at the Moonbeam Cafe. Right? I'll wait. Alex Trebek. I think that's Jeopardy, right? Answer in the form of a question. That's when you have to answer in the form of a question.
What is Jeopardy?
Here's a better mustache, me or Alex Trebek.
I feel like I have to say you because I'm on your thing right now.
I'm not. You say whatever you want, but I'd challenge Alex Trebek. No, is he in poor health? Because I don't
I'm
want
pretty
to.
sure he had cancer.
I don't want to challenge him if he's not in proper health, because that could affect mustachery. You know what I mean? Like I would never go up against Tom Selleck.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because that's or Sam Elliott. I'm gonna talk about mustachios. See, if you were a good production assistant, you'd be on your device right now, Google searching both of them to see the epicness of the mustaches.
Oh, I know Tom Selleck.
Yeah. All right. So I was asked last week to share a story, and to the best of my abilities, I really tried to remember the details. But this was funny. We were doing a thing in Paradise Valley, Arizona, years ago. This was after I had left the Navy, but before I went to work for the agency. I was in between. Worked for a private company out of Northern Virginia, and we did a lot of work for the Saudi royal family as they would travel all over, whether it was domestic work here in the United States or elsewhere. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 homes in a cul-de-sac in Paradise Valley, which is an exclusive neighborhood. It's like a suburb. Phoenix would be the major hub, and then Scottsdale, and then Paradise Valley, right around there. Daryl Hannah lived right down the street. Stevie Nicks had a home, a few blocks away. It was awesome, and never got to hang out with him though. I tried to hang out with Stevie Nicks once, but
And then I got a restraining order.
well, yeah, she wasn't home when I tried to hang out with her,
Right.
so I stuck around. Used the pool. I cleaned up after none of that ever happened, but she did live local, so I thought that was neat. But anyway, the way they would do this was you'd have 24-hour coverage on these estates, right? So in this particular cul-de-sac, there were like 3 houses up on one end, and then some regular people in between, and then 2 other houses down at the other end. And I mean, it was pretty wild. Like one of the neighbors was the lead attorney for the Menendez brothers. Those of you who remember the Menendez brothers, they like shotgunned their family, parents to death. It's weird, man. But anyway, yeah, it was strange. It was strange. But long story short, every night what would happen is they had like, it was a full operational protective detail. So they had like what you would consider like administrative assistants and things like that. So one of the guys would come around at night and he would take a menu order for the following night. So you would place, your food order. So there was a guy on the team. His first name was Mark, right? It's not my bro, Mark American Horse. He was there though. He was there, but I don't know if he was there during the time of what came to be known as the Great Meatball Sandwich Caper, okay? So this guy Mark, and those of you in the military may have heard the expression before, chow hound, right? A chow hound, he has one specialty. No matter what his military specialty is, he has one specialty, and that is food, right? He knows every hour of every dining facility. He knows the closest places off base. He knows every place to get food, and his performance shows that. I'll leave it at that, right? We got a mission to complete, and he's wondering, what time's lunch? So anyway, this joker, like let's say there was whatever the per diem was, it was like a $20, let's say, limit on that meal. We were staying at a crazy beautiful resort, and then we would drive into work. So while you're at the resort, you sign everything to your room. So think about that, right? You're staying at a beautiful resort. You get home in the early morning. We were on nights, so you get home in the early morning. If you want to have breakfast, you sign it to your room. You wake up, you sign the next meal to your room. You go in, and they deliver to you on post the meal you ordered the night before with a $20 limit. I didn't even know there was a $20 limit because I never came close to it, right? So this joker would have it strung out to the penny, where he would be like, then I could order this, and I could order that, and then I could order this, and then I could order something. So this one particular night, he ordered food, and he also ordered a meatball sandwich that he intended to keep for later. It's a 12-hour shift. I get that. I do. No disrespect. So he takes this, and we were very fortunate. My team was very fortunate because there were 4 of us, and we were down the street at one of the other 2 houses. One of the houses there was usually empty, so the one was operational. We worked there, right? 4 of us alone. The other properties, there were people all over, So this joker gets his food, he takes his meatball sandwich, and he stores it in a refrigerator in the break room for later, right? Well, guess what? He goes back later and it's gone. Well, rightfully so, he's pissed off. I understand that. And I would have been upset as well. So he puts it out. Hey, did anybody know what happened to that meatball sandwich? Does anybody know? Obviously, nobody says, yeah, I ate it. So the next day at the briefing, before you take your positions, everybody gets together. This is what happened overnight. This is what we're expecting tonight, and blah, 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 right? So he's like, hey, I have something to say. Great. Does anybody know what happened to the meatball sandwich that was left in the refrigerator last night? Not a single person. Now again, myself and 3 other guys, we didn't even know about it yet because we're kind of separated. So this is the first we're hearing of it. So a couple people are like, oh, come on, Mark, somebody ate your sandwich. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was on purpose, whatever. I kid you not. This goes on it went on like hard for like a week. He would go post to post, person to person, and ask them. And he's taking notes. He's like tracking down the trail of the meatball sandwich. Well, with a group of alpha males, when something like that starts to happen, it only gets worse. Because now what happens is people start to draw like treasure maps of like the meatball
Oh my
sandwich on the
gosh.
X, or draw, like a whiteboard. Okay, here's the break room. It's 15 paces to the main driveway. Likely suspects. This thing went on forever. Now, two of the positions on this thing were roving positions, where you would have someone from, the silver and gold, we called it, right? Silver, gold, bronze were a different call signs. So each of the two cells had a roving position where you would get in a vehicle, you get in an SUV, and you drive around the whole plan. So if you would see anything unusual, suspicious activity, you'd radio back in and things like this. So typically, you would only stop and talk to the other vehicle if it was urgent, you know, and like a flash, flash your headlights 3 times. If you get that flash 3 times, you know that the oncoming vehicle, or a radio call, whatever, if you didn't want to be discreet. So I'm in the roving vehicle, and I'm doing my thing, and I turn a corner, and all of a sudden I see dish, 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 triple, flash. So I pull up, and as soon as I look, who is it? But it's this guy Mark, and this is maybe like 3 weeks later. And he goes, "Hey, now let me ask you one more time. Now with that meatball sandwich. Now bear in mind we weren't even on the same post, right? We were about a quarter mile down the street." And I was like, and I started to laugh because, honest to God, like I thought he was kidding. I mean, I joke around all the time. You can't make fun of yourself. Shame on you, right? So he starts like, "Hey, let me ask you one more time about the meatball sandwich." So I start to laugh. So he gets pissed off, and he's like, "Oh, you really think this is funny, don't you?"
Yeah.
And the only, right? That's what I said. The only thing I could think to say, I looked right at him and I go, "Mark, you have no idea how funny I think this is." I was like, "Come on, man, it's a meatball sandwich. They'll make more. I promise you, they'll make more." That thing went on forever. And I don't think anybody ever, finally, because like it just kept churning, the guy who did it took me aside one night and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm not sure any of you guys know." He's like, "I ate the sandwich." And I was like, "Oh my God." But this is like weeks later, it's like this big meatball sandwich caper. Awesome. And then unfortunately, years later, I had to work with this joker again. Those of you familiar with Northern Virginia, we were at the the Galleria Mall, Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Galleria Mall. It's right down Chainbridge Road from CIA headquarters, actually, coincidentally. But same type of thing. We're there with this large group of high-ranking Saudi royal family members, and this guy's on the project. Same thing, man. We would go to, because everything was, you stayed in your first it was a hotel, then we moved to apartments, and you were on per diem. And if you wanted to eat out on the open economy, you just bring your receipts in and you drew per diem. And it was a very, very easy, challenging task, but easy living, I guess would be the best way to put it. And honest to God, this guy, every host and hostess at every restaurant around the Galleria Mall knew him by name. That's sad. That's just sad. 1, you're not supposed to draw attention to yourself or your people. 2, you should be gray. You should be so under the radar, you're just a guy who ate there. You know what I mean? He would walk in and it was like a bad old Hollywood movie, "Oh, Mr. Not mentioning names. Good to see you again. Hello. Hello. Can I have my usual?" Oh my God. Well, he's probably, I don't know, whatever. God bless him. You know what I mean? But remember, you have been told about the great meatball caper of, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the comment. I'm trying to help you out here. Jeez.
Oh.
There we go. Need to say it.
Thank you, Nina. Surreal to log into Facebook and scroll along and hear my name. My man. I'm sorry, I didn't see these.
That's another
Michael
Emily Grace. That's a good
McSorley,
name.
my man. What's going on, brother? What's going on? Following you on Facebook and your fighters. Telling you, man, proud of you. Proud of you. Good work, right? John Snyder, you were there. Were you there for the great meatball caper? Chime in if you were there for the great meatball caper. Rob, Spence, Andrew. All right, Dale, you're almost right. Andy Griffith, there you go. Marianne, my cousin.
Hi, Mom.
Uh-oh. Mom, is Mom still watching us? Cousin Jamie. Mwah. Love you, kid. Dan McLean. My man. Hey, Dan, if you're on, I was just telling a story the other day about, and actually, it was very appropriate and in context. I was telling a young man who is just finished his first year in college. He's on an Army ROTC scholarship, and one of his areas of study right now is CQB, learning from I believe learning from the Ranger Handbook, and so we started to talk a little bit about it, and I shared a story with him, and I know you were there. I just don't know if you were on the catwalk at the time when we were down at Darcy, and we had gone through I don't know how long of range, week and a half or whatever, just constant range work, day and night, and one evening we just like boom, okay, range work's over. We came off and we set up quick scenarios, and we were doing simunitions in Little Mogadishu, I think they called it, right? And I know Q was up in the catwalk, and I want to say you were too. In the first scenario, first exercise, thank God it was ungraded. They threw me and one of the guys that didn't didn't pass didn't pass selection, but it threw the two of us into this role play where we had to take a case officer to a meet, and turned out to be an ambush, right? I don't know if you were there for that, if you're still even watching, but yeah, long story short, I mean, I get jumped. I'm feeling pretty good. I take out the two guys in the outer rooms, and I don't miss a beat. I kick in the door where the meeting is, and I see a guy sitting on the floor with his hands over his head, and I see somebody standing above him holding him at gunpoint, right? And from the door, I kick the door open. I step into the room. At least I didn't stay in the doorway. But I come into the room and I just, simunitions. Now don't be goofy. And I just like, and I light him up and I do a magazine change as I'm closing the distance. And then as he kind of backs himself into the wall, I realize that in the scenario, he overpowered his captor, and that was my guy. And I see him with a gun, and I just light him up, and I drive him in. Then trying to save it, hoping you guys didn't see it.
Oh, you skipped something. You reloaded. You got a whole new magazine.
I was no doubt. Yeah, I did a. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did a reload, and I think after I reloaded, I might have popped him a couple more times. Then I realized, oh crap, that's my guy. So pretend like hopefully, play it through, right? Play it through. Like hopefully you guys didn't see. I like pressed myself against him on the wall. I grabbed him by an arm. I had my weapon like this, and I look at him and I'm like, "Are you ready to move?" And this guy, to his credit, he was a good role player. He's like, "Yeah." And Q calls out, "Index, index," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" So we go outside, and all I can remember vividly was it was January and it was in North Little Rock. And if you remember there, the temperature changed like day to day. One day it was warm and sunny. The next day it did feel like winter and back and forth. And I just remember it was cool. It was, cool outside. But at that moment, I just got like flushed with heat. I honest to God thought I was going to throw up all over the place. And I just had this adrenaline dump, and then my mind's racing, and I'm like, oh my God, I felt like I was on point right up until then. So Jim takes me to the side, and he was like, "Rocky," like just plain as can be, "Rocky, did you shoot your principal?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir, I did." And he's like, "Right." And then this was the moment, right? And this guy is a tier one operator from one of the major, well, there's only two, right? So this guy's been around, right? And he looks right at me, and he's like, "Rocky, look at me." And he's like, "Anybody ever tells you they never shot a good guy in practice, they're lying to you." And when we say shot a good guy in practice, it's simunitions, right? And he's like, "Anybody ever tells you they never shot a good guy in hostage rescue, they're lying to you." And he's like, "But I'll tell you this, it won't happen again. Shake it off." And I still feel like I'm going to throw up. I really did. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to throw up. And the only worst thing than doing what I just did is throwing up on my instructor. So, yeah, man, that was crazy. That was crazy. And Dan, you're there.
The best part about
Good
hearing that
stuff.
story though was I was there for the whole thing. Alex heard the beginning, left, and then she came back at the end. So all she heard was that you shot the guy you were working with like at least 20 times. And she turns to me and she's like, "What?"
I don't think I ever put a number on it, Emily. 20 just sounds bad.
Anyway, she looks at me and she like grabs my arm and she goes, "Did Dad just kill someone on a mission?" And I was like, "No, no, 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 you missed that whole thing."
Right. You missed the most important part.
Exactly. That was her
training.
whole point. She missed.
Right. But, man, good stuff. Good stuff. So, all right, Dale, I owe you a coffee at Small Black, Nina. Just remember, what's the cheapest thing on your menu? Hey, I said coffee. I'm not going to cheat you and give you like a water from the fountain. No, so
behind the
Dale,
counter.
Dale, you are the first winner of the Moonbeam Coffee prize, right? So,
Not sponsored.
good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do I even have permission?
When he says free coffee, he means that he's buying.
Yeah, no, it's free. It's free to the winner, right? It's free to the winner. It's sponsored by the Coffee with Mike morning show, who evidently is good enough for Facebook, but not
And this
YouTube.
is why you're never going to be good enough for YouTube.
Hey, YouTube, when I get 1,000 subscribers, maybe it's not going to be on your show or your, what do you call it? It's not a show.
Platform.
It's my show. Platform. See, I was a child, well, not like a child. I was a teen of the 70s. So for me, platforms are shoes. Huh?
How old was Mom during all of this?
That's irrelevant. I didn't even know her that. Honey, are you still watching?
I don't think so. She doesn't have...
No, Jen's always watching.
Maybe not this.
Jen's always watching. I love you.
No, when you get longer than 20 minutes, Mom says, "Okay, never mind."
You never know. She says, "Oh, you drone on," but what is, today's like a free flow.
No, I think that was Michael
Right?
who said you drove on.
Michael, my man, my man. So I want to share this with you too. This is pretty cool, right? So yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Yep. Now I need a place to hide away.
Thank you.
Oh, I believe in yesterday. That's an easy one. I'm not giving away free
Oh, Mom is
coffee for
still
that
watching.
one. Mom is still watching. Hi, sweetheart. Love you. Look at my beautiful baby. 18 years old. And I'm going to put this out. Mikey, I don't know if you're watching. I hope your dad's still on. Next year, my friend, expect great things from you on the soccer field and in the classroom, academically. But I'm also going to task you with another mission.
Nope.
Watch out for my baby. Just watch out. You don't have to get directly involved. You just let me know. All right? We'll have an alphanumeric code that when you text it to me, boom. Right? It's time. Right? So I see some little goofball, TikTok, self-important influencer trying to like chat up my baby girl. Right? I give them an atomic wedgie. They still exist. Right? What happened? Oh, this guy came out of nowhere. Crushed my testicles with pliers. It was weird. Uh-oh.
Whiskey, take a foxtrot.
Anybody hear that? Anybody hear my beautiful angel? Just whispering her coffee mug? Her trendy little stainless steel travel atrocity? What's wrong with... Can you hear that? Coffee
This
mug.
holds more and keeps it warm longer.
Coffee mugs. Anyway, I'm a big fan of coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Love them. Happy birthday, Emily, from David Fritsch. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. So, I'm going to share this with you because I thought this was pretty cool. Go a little bit. No, you know what? I'll save that for another time. Save that for another time because... Hey, Matt. Anything you want to talk about? No?
No.
All right. So, listen. Thank you for joining us today.
Maybe you'll get Alex next week for her birthday.
1,000 subscribers. You know what? Just while we're here, let's do this because I'm not sure. I want to check YouTube and see how many subscribers we actually have. Probably have like one. How do I know? Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Nice try.
This is how sub-novice I am here.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we have. How do I know
Go to
if I
your
have?
channel.
Okay.
2 subscribers.
Oh! All right, you know what? That's cool, though. Listen, that's cool because all we need now All we need now is 998 subscribers to the CrossFit Pittsburgh. Yeah, got it. Wait, 2 subscribers. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
And 75 views in your last
so
video.
these guys are subscribers to my channel?
No, you're subscribed to them.
Oh, I was gonna say because that's pretty
Nice
cool,
try.
right?
Really
I was like,
big.
oh my God, Paleo Nick and Josh Bridges are subscribed to my channel. Evidently, that's not. Okay, I get it. So I have 2 subscribers, but I've only subscribed to 2 people myself.
Right.
Does that make me a bad person? Should I subscribe to more people? You know what? No. Here's the thing. Subscribe, don't subscribe, right? You never know what you're going to hear on this channel. And that's what's fun about it, right? It's a wee bit avant-garde, I think, is that. Huh? You didn't know I knew that word, that expression, those words. Anyway, how do I know who the subscribers are? How do I find out? Subscriptions? No, that would be my
that's who you
subscriptions,
subscribe to.
right?
Right.
All right, so guys, here's the thing, man. This is just too much fun, right? So with or without, with or without another 998 subscribers to YouTube, we still go Facebook Live when the mood strikes us, and it's fun. It's fun because you all make it fun. So listen, enjoy the weekend. Remember what Memorial Day is all about. All right, it is a nice 3-day weekend, but it's a lot more than that. Okay, and don't thank a veteran for their service on Memorial Day. Right, you thank me on Veterans Day. You remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day. All right, and I don't mean the ultimate sacrifice of having to listen to one of my live broadcasts. Bunch of dicks. All right.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours. Did he just call us a bunch of dicks? Maybe there are people on here named Richard, and there's more than
Maybe.
one. So therefore, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Dennis, are you still? Oh man, can't get sound. Can anybody else hear? That's so messed up. Honest to God.
This guy once told me that so 3 kids. And we were talking about his favorite kid, and I made a joke that it was me, and he goes, Emily, there are days you're not even in the top 3.
Who said that?
You!
I said that.
Yes!
I said there are days you're not even in the top 3 of my favorite kids.
Yeah.
Well, honey, I have to count the other kids
Riley.
that you don't know about.
Oh.
Yeah.
From your other engagement.
No. We don't count the dogs. Emily, there are days you're not even. I will. Did you hear that?
That was Michael.
What is he yelling about?
He's probably playing a video game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. When my son plays video games, you would think that someone's engaging in close quarters battle nearby. Literally. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Right?
It's fun sharing a wall with
Oh
him.
my God.
I think I've thrown shoes at my wall to try to get him to stop talking. Cause
You should just kick his door open and throw shoes at him.
Because, if he gets loud, I'll call him. And then usually, he's so used to it by now, he'll just answer. He goes, okay, I'll be quiet. And then he hangs up and he keeps on yelling.
But he's not quiet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He'll keep on
so-
yelling. So I'll try to keep on calling him, and he'll either ignore it or he'll just answer, be like, what? Like, I'm being quiet. So I started throwing shoes at my wall.
All right. Could I ask a question?
No.
Who suffers in the shoe throwing? Me, because I have to. No, actually, you know who it is? It's Uncle Mike, right? Because now there's a hole in the
Broken
wall.
Hello.
Now there's a hole in the wall, and I got to call Uncle Mike and say, "Hey, how do I fix a hole?" In the wall? Are we in trouble?
Mom said it was me. There's a long delay. What?
Like lag time, I guess, between the send and the. Yeah. All right, that's cool. Anyhow, I'm gonna try this one more time. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone. I'll probably be on again tomorrow. And what do we got? What do we got?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, Mayor, I love you. Oh my God, baby Emily's turning 30 next. No, am I reading that right? That's unacceptable. I don't believe it because that makes me older. So, all right, love to Emily. Love you, cuz. And Staz, thanks. Yeah, back again tomorrow morning. We'll talk a little bit Memorial Day. right? Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. 998 more subscribers for YouTube, and then we'll be what? Eligible,
Eligible.
right? All right. Anyway, take care. We're out. Say goodbye, Em.
Bye.
Okay, go.
Oh.
Go.